Well, look at there. I'm busy trying to figure this thing out so I could do a live stream this morning, and um, I think I confused somebody. I don't know. I'm not even sure that the sound is coming through. So, of course, if this is not the best live stream, and yes, I'm wearing my glasses. From these are basically for me to use for my screen. But what's going on? This is AlTone, and welcome to another absolutely fantastic morning. My eyes are watering and my glasses are a little dirty. But it's extremely early, I know. It is now 6:47. I've been up since about I got up a little late today. I was up about 4:50. I'm trying to get up at 5 every morning so that I can, actually get started on some of the things that I want to accomplish for 2019. I recently did a video talking about, how we do our New Year's resolutions. And to me, I've never been a big fan of New Year's resolutions because, like I've said, what usually happens for me is, a couple of months or a couple of weeks into the new year, and I've already broken a resolution. And, it was like, why even do this? But I would say I'm not totally against, at least at this point, I'm not totally against New Year's resolutions, but um, I set myself up for success with that resolution. And so how I do that is this, and this is what I talked about in my last video. If there's something that you really want to do for next year, you really want to, and I actually just finished watching this awesome video. It was a TED Talk about taking small steps. If you want to read 50 books, and this particular individual, and I'll try to link it up after during the playback, was talking about he wanted to read 50 books in a year. So reading those 50 books all depended on him being able to make decisions that would allow him to be successful in doing just that, right? So essentially what he said was, your first decision is picking up the book. Second decision, opening the book. Third decision, read the first word. If you read the first word, then you can read the first sentence. If you read the first sentence, you can read the first paragraph. If you read the first paragraph, you can read the first chapter. And also, taking it a step further, and I actually do have it up on my screen now that I think about it. How to achieve your most ambitious goals. Stephen, and I do not know how to pronounce his last name. But if you just make small decisions to get yourself a little bit closer, and his TED Talk is absolutely phenomenal. So like I said, I will link it. I'll make sure I link it up. But that's kind of the mentality I take toward starting a new year off. Now, I love New Year's. I dislike New Year's only because of the fact that New Year's also means it's wintertime, and the brother don't like the wintertime. I'm just going to be honest with you. I really don't like the winter. But it's okay. Um, but what I do like about this time of year is, of course, we have the holidays. We get to spend time with family and all of that. You get some downtime, hopefully, relaxation time. But what I really like about this time of year is getting close to a new year. If you can't start yourself, if you have issues or problems, which I've had, starting something new, um, the new year gives you a reason to do it. Okay, yes, I just said I don't care for New Year's resolutions. That's kind of what it is, but it still gives you a new sense of this is a new year coming in. I want to do something different for this year than I was able to do last year. I want to accomplish something different than I was able to accomplish for last year, right? So setting myself up for success in that is that rather than waiting to the new year, I already know that this is no beginning of November. I knew in October, and usually about October time frame, I pretty much know what it is I want to accomplish for next year. So I'll say, okay, I know for next year I want to work on learning Spanish. I want to get myself physically fit the way I was before my wife went through, her health related issues, and I stopped taking care of myself. I want to uh, really work on myself individually and develop my music, which is my that's my ultimate gift and my real passion is music. Even though I've spent so much time here, trying to share some of what I believe will help others advance and develop gifts and talents and be able to find happiness. I'm not going to go jump on that soapbox today, but um, that is you know, and of course I me being me lose my train of thought. But knowing that these are things that I want to accomplish for next year, what that does for me at this point is says, okay, this is the beginning of November. What can I do right now that's going to more secure my success to be able to accomplish those goals for next year? And so that's exactly what I've been doing. So I have quite a few. There's some really great things going on, and I always attempt to get up extremely early in the morning. That's just my thing, and extremely early for me is 4:30. If I could not work from home, I would be getting up at 4:30 anyway to travel into McLean, close to the DC area, because the traffic's pretty rough. It could take me anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours to actually drive into the office. Um, and I've taken up to 3 hours. And this time of year is even worse. So I would have to get up that early anyway. So since I'm working from home, I don't have to be physically available until 8 o'clock. That 4:30 to 8 gives me time to start working on some of those things I want to accomplish for myself. Now, for anybody who does have to travel, have to get on the road and travel, there are certain things that you can do to benefit yourself. When I had to make that hour and a half to sometimes 3 hour drive back and forth to work, to the office, um, I asked myself a question: how can I make this time productive? Well, I can spend time with family, possibly on the phone, not texting, but if you have a way of making phone calls without having to lift and look at your phone while you're on the road, which I can in my truck, then I just, use Siri, call somebody that I haven't talked to in a while, and spend some time with that individual while I'm on the road. It does two things for me. One, I get sleepy in traffic. Stop and go doesn't do me any good. So being able to be on the phone with somebody and interacting with somebody, keep my brain, churning, so to speak, while I'm on the road and still focusing on what's going on around me, gave me an opportunity to spend time in conversation with people that I care for, and I hadn't had the opportunity to do that in a while. The second one was audiobooks. If I want to absorb some information, I want to learn something, I found a way to put it. I had my Bible in iTunes. I still have it in iTunes on my phone. So if I wanted to just get some word in for the morning or the afternoon, I could get in, start just Matthew, boom, first chapter, and just let it run and listen to that on the way to work. Or again, if I wanted to read a book, and lately, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of time to sit back and just take time to read, so I use audiobooks. And by doing so, I've gotten through, within the month of October, I got through 4 books. One of them is Your One Word by Evan Carmichael, which I absolutely recommend. It's an awesome book. But at any rate, I'll go through and I make sure that I use that time productively. Now I've got 4:30 to 8 o'clock. I can sit down and try to work on myself in ways that I wouldn't be able to do it at other times. So what I do now, a couple of my goals, and I'll just share them with you right now. One of them is, my wife's from Honduras. I'm pretty sure you know that by now if you've been watching. And my kid's mom is Puerto Rican, and our time together, I was picking up Spanish, but I wasn't learning enough. My current wife, has a very large family, and we spend a lot of time with them. They're learning English, but I want to be able to speak Spanish to them. So What am I doing? I'm making it a conscious effort to learn Spanish. So if you want to, and I'll just share this with you. If you want to actually spend, use it as a competition. If language is something that a different language is something that you want to learn, I absolutely recommend Duolingo. I've started it before, dropped off, but since I started back in, as you see, I'm on 29 days. I haven't done today's yet. 29-day streak. I am spending time every morning during that 4:30 to 5. I'm at 4:30 to 8 time frame. I spend this takes me maybe 20 minutes to go through the lessons and I've actually maxed out what my daily goal is, which is 50 points. And for each lesson, you get 10 points. So I go through five lessons every morning and make sure that I get that in. And I've been 29 days straight, and it's my goal to hammer it through 2019, and by the summer, I want to be able to have a fluent conversation. I'm getting pretty decent. I'm kind of shooting through these, but Duolingo is an absolutely fantastic tool to use for that purpose. And there are other tools. If there's something that you want to learn, there are other tools that you can use. I'm just sharing with you some of the ones that I use. And of course, if learning a language is something you want to do, whether it's Spanish or something else, go check out Duolingo, and you can join as my friend, and we can have a little competition to see who does the best, and or continues to work on it. Because usually when you work with somebody, you have a tendency to be more motivated about it, and you have a tendency to continue to push forward. And if I can help motivate you, again, if learning another language is something you want to do, I want to be able to communicate well in Spanish. Don't communicate that well in English, to be honest, but I want to be able to communicate well in Spanish. So I want to make sure that I have I continue to work to develop that. And like I said, this gentleman Stephen, whose video I was watching, he basically said, I might take 5 to 10, 15 minutes just to work on something toward my goal, and then take a break from it and go do something else. But those little steps actually make a big difference. And just in these 30 days, I've been picking up so many different things, picking, my ability to speak, or my knowledge of different words in Spanish and stuff like that, have actually really, uh, really been pretty good. And I actually been talking through this and didn't transition over, so you can see what I was talking about. But like I said, this is Duolingo. I'm on a 29-day streak. We got 17 hours left to do mine today, and that's pretty much it. And like I said, if you look for AlTone.Online, you'll see my old logo here, and then you can join as a friend, or however they say it in Duolingo, and we can actually compete with each other doing this, and it works out pretty well. I did have a couple of friends before. I kind of dropped off once I changed from my personal account to my AlTone account. So that's pretty much it. But like I said, little stuff. And so during this time in the morning, one of the other things that I do pretty much, or I'm working on doing. So I recently went to VA, had my knees and my feet x-rayed. I do have, I think it's a little bit of arthritis or something in one of my feet, and a couple of little issues there because I'm extremely flat-footed, which my arches dropped. Another whole story while I was in the military. So right now, when I was doing the strong lifts workout before, what initially happened, because the strong lifts workout routine basically is 12 weeks. It's a 12-week strength building workout. And around week 11, my knees were really starting to bother me. And so I was like, okay, well, I might need to slow this down a little bit. And so I basically stopped around 12, around my 12-week mark. I started reducing the amount of weight that I was increasing per week, and I basically stopped doing that workout um, because I was having some knee pain. And so I thought the best thing for me to do is make sure I get my knees checked out, make sure everything is fine. So my knees are checked out, everything is good. Yes, I do have a little bit of, it's a little bit of cracking and stuff, and every now and then I have a little pain, but that may be because of the fact that I need to stretch more, that kind of stuff. But at any rate, so I found I'm going back to my strong lifts workout, and I'm also planning. I've been checking out Ask Dr. Joe. Great website. She's a doctor of physical therapy. She has a lot of interesting, obviously an interesting page, but she has a lot of information on how to combat joint issues and pains and stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure that I'm stretching properly, doing all of those kind of things, and really get back into my regular workout. So again, that 4:30 in the morning to 8 o'clock, my morning routine is basically so that I can get a workout in. I can do my 254 days of confidence with Evan Carmichael, which I also do every day, and comment on every day. I can do my Spanish, Duolingo Spanish courses. I'm planning on doing some music courses as well, and also use that time. Well, of course, I jump in, grab my breakfast. I haven't even had my coffee yet this morning, which is crazy. I absolutely have to have my coffee first thing in the morning, and I haven't had breakfast yet. So take a shower, after working out, all that kind of stuff. Take a shower, get dressed, get my coffee, get my breakfast in, and then the rest of that time, after doing, like I said, my Evan Carmichael 254 days of confidence, my my Duolingo, and making sure I get my workout in and all of that, get my breakfast, take a shower, and get my coffee, and I'm ready to go at 8 o'clock. Now, that's a lot to squeeze in, honestly, between 4 and 8. But sometimes I actually do. Some days I'll have a little bit of extra time. And during that time frame, the thing about it, recently I've been finding so many different content creators that have the same passion that I do. And or I'll be when I'm looking at Evan Carmichael's 254 days of confidence videos, I always read through the comments. I'll make a comment myself, but I always read through the comments, and there's a lot of people have some really great comments, and so sometimes I'll either respond or reply to their comment, or I even take that time to check out their YouTube channel. If they have a YouTube channel, I'll take that time to check out the YouTube channel based on the comment, because if what they're speaking on in relationship to that video lines up to my thoughts and beliefs, and not only that, but they may have some information. Their channel may have nothing to do with what they said in that comment, but their channel may be educational for me in some way. It may be teaching me how to do something I need to learn how to do. So from that point, I'll go through and watch other people's videos during that time frame. Then I go sometimes at 8 o'clock. What I normally do, make sure my computer's up, I'm online, I'm ready to go. Take care of any emails and that kind of thing that I need to for the job first thing, and then I start digging into some of the things that I need to accomplish for the day on the day job. But what I also do is I'll go to home, look for what YouTube is suggesting for me. If there's nothing I see that's interesting there, the second thing I'll do is I'll start looking at some of the channels that I subscribe to, because all of them usually provide some type of motivation or inspiration for me. And so I'll either play that in the background, I'll play an audio book in the background, or depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes I can't concentrate if I have background noise, but I'll do one of those two things. Just play videos in the background while I'm doing my work, and or play, like I said, audio books in the background while I'm doing my work. And that's how I make it through my day. If I happen to check something out or see somebody's channel that I want to subscribe to, I'll click subscribe to it. But and there's some things that I want to interact with, or someone I want to interact with, or something like that, I'll either hit it during my lunch period, or usually my wife's working. We try to both quit about 5 o'clock every day. But if she's still working at, let's say she's still working at 6 up until 6, which happens on occasion. She's dealing with one of her clients or something like that, trying to help them out with something. Then I'll just continue. At that point, 5 o'clock, I'll, disconnect from the day job if I can, finish off, whatever I'm doing, and then I'll slide back over and probably see if there's something else I want to catch up on, or, make changes to my website, or trying to write outlines for the next video, or that kind of thing. Just working on things that I want to do to be able to, again, be hashtag be the individual that God created me to be, and use the talents and gifts that he actually gave me. And that's really what I'm all about. So with that, I'm gonna let you go. We've been going here for a little while. I don't even know how long I've been on here. I'm trying to see. 22 minutes. All right. I know it's been a while since I did a live stream. I am going to start trying to do these a little bit more frequently. So if you have any thoughts, anything that you want me to talk about, any questions for me, maybe I'll do just a question and answer session at some point. I did mention also that I'm not at this point, I'm not on any schedule. I know how many people say if you want to grow on YouTube, you need to be on a schedule. You need to do these things. There's all these boxes that you have to check off. But if I try to check all those boxes off, I know that I'm not going to enjoy doing what I do. I need to enjoy the creation and sharing of my experiences and thoughts. And so at this point, there's no real schedule. I still have like I said, I still have this in the back of my mind. I've got this thing where I want to do a video every Monday morning. Continue with that. But you notice yesterday, no video. So I'm going to do the best I can to ensure that I provide the best quality as possible. And I'm working on making sure that each and every video is better than the last. And the best way for me to do that without stressing myself out is to drop the requirement, the daily or hourly or what the scheduled requirement for me to put out a video at a certain time every day. I truly believe that when you do, the Bible says your gifts will make room for you. And I believe that my gifts and my talents and the things that I share and I develop within myself, they will help to build the environment and build a community of individuals who really appreciate what it is that I have to offer. So all those other things are good. I do listen to them. I try to work toward, squeezing those check marks in where I possibly can. But if I can't, I can't. And that's what it is. So the best thing for you to do is to be confident, be passionate, be strong. most of all, be yourself. All right? Be yourself. It's a beautiful thing. You're a beautiful individual. So have an absolutely fantastic day. We'll see you when the next live stream comes up. I'll try to do that very soon. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe and hit that bell so that, since I'm not on a schedule at this point, you'll be notified every time I upload some new content, especially if you're enjoying this. So, all right, with that, I'll talk to you again very, very soon. Peace.